Welcome to the Connect with TrueSight webinar. During today's session, you'll be able to ask questions of our panelists. The questions and answers, along with today's recording, will be published to communities and our YouTube channel. Today's topic is TSOM TSO Flash Deprecation, and Shweta and Matthew will take us through this content. Over to you, Shweta.
Thank you, Greg. And hello, everyone. I'm Shweta Agarwal, Senior Technical Support Analyst, and I welcome to the BMC Managing Flash Deprecation and Replacement Features webinar for TrueSight Operations Management. Adobe has announced the end of life for Flash. Specifically, Adobe will stop updating and distributing the Flash player at the end of 2020. If you're using BMC Proactive Net Performance Management Server, that is BPPM, or TrueSight Operations Management TSOM 10.x or 11.x, then this webinar is for you. In this webinar, we will be looking at the incremental and proactive steps taken by BMC over the recent release version 11.304 to manage and replace the deprecation of the Flash-based capabilities in the TrueSight Operations Management. We will look at the functionalities that have been affected and were dependent on the TrueSight Infrastructure Management, that is TSIM console, along with the replacement features available for the same in 11.304 version. Followed by this, we will look at the upgrade options and guidance provided by BMC to 11.304 version with some reference links for the same. As you know, Adobe will stop updating and distributing the Flash player at the end of 2020. Due to these changes in the status of Flash, BMC needed to move the functionality dependent on the TrueSight Infrastructure Management TSIM console to TrueSight Presentation Server TSPS console, also called as TrueSight console. Components affected due to these changes in TSOM is BPPM Operator Console or TSIM Operator Console. This change brings about the deprecation of the TSIM console. TSIM is still an active component in the TrueSight Operations Management. It just does not have a visual representation through the TSIM console. Then another component, SNMP Adapter Configuration Manager, is also affected by this change. This component allows you to publish MIP files for SNMP events. There is also Impact Model Designer, called as IMD console on CMDB, that allows you to create a service model and promote or publish it to TrueSight. This is also affected by this change. To get the replacement features, BMC recommends you upgrade to TSOM 11.304 with latest hotfix. Matthew will talk about TSO product impacts and recommendations. Let's have a look at the list of workflows affected in TSOM with the replacement options available in 11.304 version. The feature of notification, that is event rules from TSIM console, is now available as notification rules in the TrueSight console under configuration. This supports email and SNMP trap notification types. Then viewing event relationships will now be available in TrueSight console, while viewing events under monitoring. Configuring attribute sets that is needed for TrueSight reporting will be available under configuration and then attribute sets under it. Monitor information that was available while viewing the graph will now be available under monitoring, under monitor details as a new tab, monitor information. Also, configuration items, find CI option can now be viewed from monitoring configuration items option. Then performance diagnostic details can be pulled in TrueSight console from monitor, then configuration and manage devices.
Manual events can be sent using msend command. However, there is a plan to add this feature in future release.
Instance thresholds can be created using monitoring policy from the TSPS console. While creating a policy, you can click on Server Thresholds tab to configure the instance thresholds. Then Global Thresholds report can be pulled from configuration, and then under configuration, you'll have a Global Thresholds option. Clicking on Global Thresholds on top right, you will have an option to export the report of all enabled globals in the application. Then instance threshold reports can be pulled using command pw report threshold from TSIM server. Infrastructure reports have been moved to TrueSight console. For this, you need to apply the latest hotfix available in 11.3.04 version. For event collectors, you can use event groups feature that is available in TrueSight console. Enabling integrations can now be done from TrueSight console. Then administration, and under administration, you have an option for integrations. One-click validation has also been moved to TrueSight console. For SNMP event integrations, the GUI SNMP Adapter Configuration Manager that allows to publish the MIP files will be deprecated, and we recommend you to use MIP2Map utility to publish the MIP files. Impact Model Designer, used to create and publish service models, will no longer be functional once Flash is deprecated. You can use CMDB Explorer that comes from Atrium. More enhancements will be done by end of this year on the later release. And now I would do a short demo to show few of the workflows moved to TrueSight console.
All right, let's have a look at the TSPS console. This is 11.3.04 version with the latest hotfix installed. Let's have a look at the features that has been moved from the TSIM console to the TSPS console. First, we'll have a look at the monitor information. For this, you can click on the monitoring devices. Click on any of the devices. And let's click on any of the monitor details. For monitor details, you'll see a new tab added here, monitor information. Once you click on it, you'll see the monitor related information which you were able to see in TSIM console has now been moved to the TrueSight console. Now let's have a look at another feature, event relationships. You can click on any of the event, click on the three-dot icon, you'll see view event relationships. This will be enabled for the events which has the events related to it. And from this tab, event relationships, you can see the events which are related to the original event. Now let's have a look at another feature, configuration items. Under monitoring, if you click on configuration items, you can find the CIs available here. Now let's have a look at another feature, which is global threshold reports. Under configuration, once you click on the global thresholds, on the top right, you have an option for download thresholds configuration. You can download the global thresholds configuration report from this in a CSV format. Now let's have a look at the performance diagnostic report. Under configuration, click on manage devices. Under manage devices, click on the TSIM server, three dots icon, and you'll see an option for view performance diagnostics. Once you click on this, it will redirect you to the performance diagnostic page on the TSIM server. Now let's have a look at the notification rules. Under configuration, you have an option for notification rules. Click on the TSIM server for which you want to configure the notification rule. This is the same way as we used to do it in the TSIM console. Now let's have a look at the attribute sets. Under configuration, you can click on attribute sets. Click on the TSIM server for which you need to create the attribute set, and you can manage, create, edit, and delete the attribute sets from this page. If you want to enable the integration with Remedy or CMDB or TrueSight Server Automation, you can click on Administration, and under Administration, click on Integrations. You'll have an option for enabling the integration with Remedy, then with CMDB you have the option to enable the integration. And for BMC server automation, you can enable the integration from here. Now let's have a look at the infrastructure reports. For accessing the infrastructure reports, you have to install the latest hotfix that is available on TrueSight Operations Management 11.3.04. On the left navigation pane, you'll see infrastructure reports. Click on it and you'll see the TSIM server. Click on the three dots icon and click on the manage option. It will redirect you to the reports page. From here, you can create, edit and delete your infrastructure reports. Now let's have a look at some upgrade recommendations. To avoid any issues after flash deprecation, we recommend you upgrade to 11.3.04 version with latest hotfix in time, that is, before end of this year. If you are on BPPM 9.6 version, then you would need to plan to migrate to 11.3.04 directly. If you are on 10.0 or 10.5 versions, then you would need to first come on 10.7 version, then install Fixpack 3. From 10.7 FP3 version, it can be then upgraded to 11.3.04 directly. For 10.7 version, you need to be first on 10.7 FP3 and then you can upgrade to 11.3.04 version. For 11.0 version, you need to be first on 11.0 FP3 and then you can upgrade directly to 11.3.04 version. For 11.3.x, it can be directly upgraded to 11.3.04 version. One of the best practice for upgrading includes running latest health check tool report on TSPS and TSIM server before upgrade. If you are on 10.7 or higher version, we first recommend you to run the latest health check tool report and verify and fix the recommendations in the report before upgrading to latest version. Updates to health check tool utility are made outside of a release cycle, so always check the knowledge article or FGP site for latest version available. Take the VM snapshot and also install directory backup as a safer site to recover at any point in case of failures. Make sure you apply the latest hotfix available on TSOM 11.3.04. You can go through the Amigo program that assists our customers in planning and preparing for upgrades from an older to a newer supported version. BMC upgrade documents have more details about Amigo program.
As we highlight and discuss the newly published troubleshooting guides for the TrueSight Operations Management, we would like to bring to your attention the efforts being put into all of the troubleshooting guides BMC has been working to create and publish in our documentation pages. Purpose or goal of troubleshooting guides is to understand, identify, and self-solve. And in the event you are not able to self-solve, then you'll already have the items and data needed to open a better support case. As highlighted on this TSOM 11.3.04 page, you can see the troubleshooting section is located in the top level of the navigation pane, as well as the link highlighted on the bottom right of the screen. You will find different related troubleshooting sections that can help you self-solve the known issues. Let's discuss few of the common issues faced during or after the upgrade to 11.3.04 version. While upgrading the TSPS and HA to 11.3.04 version, if you get an error saying error occurred while executing installation task, then this is caused due to some missing parameters in TrueSight P server installed configuration XML file. To fix this error, you would need to first revert to the pre-upgrade snapshot, fix the XML with parameters mentioned in the knowledge article 375403, and then rerun the installation. If you run the 2.4 version of Health Check Tool report before upgrade, then the report will flag this recommendation. So do run the latest Health Check tool report before upgrade to avoid any known failures. Another defect can be observed if you have changed the BPPM-WS internal user password before upgrade. If yes, then you might see one of the issues like seeing system error while viewing performance diagnostics on TrueSight console. You might not be able to configure the integrations from the console. Also, integrations like CMDB and BSR, which were configured before upgrade, might not be visible. To fix this, you need to copy the BPPM-WS internal properties file from the mentioned backup location to PW Pronto Conf folder and then restart the TSOM application. There is one defect observed with Oracle database on TSOM with regard to PW tray. And after the upgrade, you might start receiving alarm events with message Windows process availability less than 100%. To fix this, you would need to manually delete the monitor of PW tray from administrator console and close the open events using mset message command. There is another issue that can be seen on TSPS after upgrade, where database fails to start with message could not find a valid checkpoint record. In this scenario, you would need to reset the checkpoint using the commands ps reset xlog and then start database process followed by TSPS application restart. For more details on the commands, you can refer knowledge article 373478. I will turn it over to Matthew to cover TSO.
Thanks, Shweta. This is Matthew Highcove, Senior Technical Support Analyst for TrueSight Orchestration, formerly BMC Atrium Orchestrator. TSO uses Flash in 3 of its web interfaces: the Repository Manager, the Operator Control Panel, and the Metrics view in Grid Manager. These interfaces are non-functional without Flash, and newer versions of TSO use alternate interfaces with no Flash dependency. BMC recommends that you upgrade to the latest available version of TSO. The Repository Manager is the web interface for the repository component, which stores modules and adapters. All versions of TSO have the Flash version of the Repository Manager, and TSO 8.2 and later also have a non-Flash version at an alternate URL. The screenshots here show the Flash version, on the left, as compared to the non-Flash version. If you cannot upgrade to TSO 8.2 or later, the repository will still perform most of its functions even though you cannot use the Repository Manager without Flash. You can still export and import modules via Development Studio, and the Grid Manager will still display modules and adapters in the repository. You will lose the ability to manually import and delete content. As a workaround, you can use the TSO REST API to upload and remove modules and adapters in the repository. The Operator Control Panel, or OCP, is TSO's semi-automation interface. TSO 8.2 and earlier use the Flash version of the OCP. TSO 2002 switches to a non-Flash version, here on the right. Because the OCP is TSO's only semi-automation interface, there is no alternate method for running semi-automated workflows. Any workflow with an operator dialog activity, which requests input from a user in the middle of a workflow, will fail if it runs via a schedule, web service call, or other method. The only way to run semi-automated workflows without using Flash is to upgrade to TSO 20.02 and run them via the non-Flash OCP. TSO's Grid Manager interface only uses Flash in one place, in the Go to Metrics View link on the main status page. This page lists general grid information such as the grid uptime, number of active adapters, workflow queue size, and so on. Without Flash, this page will not load. BMC will release a hotfix for this page soon. As an alternative, the TSO dashboard provides the same health information, including the ability to drill down into specific adapters, modules, peers, and other components. The dashboard is a more robust option for tracking the health of a grid, and BMC recommends using it instead of the Grid Manager metrics view whenever possible. This concludes the TSO portion. Back to you, Shweta.
Thank you, Matthew. Okay, here are some references that are available. We have the product enhancement blocks listed here that covers the changes in the features, deprecation of the features, or enhancements being made in the new release. We have some knowledge articles created specifically for this. The numbers are listed here. Then we also have an Amigo program if you need help on upgrading your platform to the latest version. Okay, to summarize what we have covered, we recommend upgrading the entire platform, TrueSight Operations Management, to 11.304 with latest hotfix that is available. So we are giving you a time to plan ahead because this is going to take place at the end of the year when Flash is going to be deprecated. So use the Amigo program if you need help in your upgrade planning. And we have got the release documentation with latest information available on the website for awareness. We have also got the knowledge articles and troubleshooting guides available to assist you in the process. That concludes our presentation. Back over to you, Greg.
Thank you, Shweta. And now take us through the self-help and contacting BMC, the YouTube channel where this webinar will be posted, along with past webinar recordings, as well as a rich set of how-to videos are available. The Connect with TrueSight webinar schedule is available at this community's link. It has future webinars as well as our past webinars. And the hot off the press newsletter that contains trending information. And to contact BMC technical support via web, phone, email, as well as these social channels is available. At this time, that will conclude this webinar. Thank you for attending.